This here is my 1968 Series 2A. I've been working on getting this to a point where we can start it up, and now we are on the final stretch. In this video I will be looking into mounting the fuel pump, which I have rebuilt, and we will be looking into the coolant system, which I don't know too much about, and the condition either. So yeah, putting that back on and then testing it. But I think first I'm going to go underneath the car, drop the sun plug, and we can drop the oil, because that hasn't been changed for a really long time. Before we drop the oil, if you're new, I just want to show you, we have been working on the master and slave on the clutch, also testing the brakes. We have a big leak on the left rear. If you know, let me know if I should replace the wheel cylinders or if I can service them. We put on the exhaust and inlet manifold and also the carburetor, which has been rebuilt from scratch. So yeah, also a video on that you can watch later. New alternator, made a bracket for that, so that is now working. Not sure of the condition of the water pumps. That's going to be a fun test. And yeah, but before I drop the oil, I just wanted to go down here, clean up so much mud and stuff. So start a little cleaning and then we will drop the oil. You can see some patches when you see the color. That is basically where the mud has been, and it hasn't been rusted because it's both mud and oil, I guess. Same here. So much cleaner. Even around the oil filter, it's just so much mud that it, yeah, couldn't get to the bolts or basically turn it around. Just gonna drain the oil. Just gonna check the levels, see how much is in there, and I think there's a lot of oil. So it's all the way up here. That's high. So definitely a lot of oil there, and it smells like old petrol. A really bad smell. Okay, so usually when I drop the oil, it either goes really well or it goes really bad. So but fun moment, first time draining the oil on the series. Yeah, you see, you can wash through it, so I think the oil has been changed. So next up, I'm just gonna open the filter housing, check the filter. If the filter is okay, I'm gonna leave it. If it's not, I'm gonna change it out with a new filter, and then we can run it up and see, because I think there's gonna be, yeah, maybe some metal shavings or something, since it hasn't been run for or just old stuff getting into the filter. I want to use this first and not use the new adapter and the new screw-on type, because with this I can check the filter if there's stuff in it. So yeah. So you can see the sludge, cleaning that out with brake cleaner now, and yeah, I think it's good to be changing this out. As you can see, there's a rust spot there. So I think there must have been some water or condensation there. So yeah, but good clean for now, good enough for a startup. So new filter, then put it back on. So one of the fun things about this project is that some of the parts that came with is bought a long time ago. So you find like this oil filter, crossline filters, Nottingham, England. So I'm not sure if they make filters still, but brand new filter or brand new old filter. So put that in, put that on. Should it be oh, I was wondering if you should put oil in it, but I guess you just turn the engine over without starting it first and see that yeah, let's do that. Okay, dogs. Just notice there's actually a new O-ring. I'm not really sure if I dare to put out the old one. If I can get this in. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Is it easier from underneath the car, maybe? All right. New filter is in. I'm just gonna flush the system a bit with some fresh oil. So thick. And it's starting to pour. So some mystery fit colors in the oil, don't know what it is. If you know, put it in a comment. That's it for just now. I need to go to a school thing for my oldest, and then when we come back we can look into putting the fuel pump on. So oil is dropped and we have cleaned the engine, then the fuel pump. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I will be right back. Okay, so next day we had our first really cold night, so we went below 0 degrees and we had our first frost. So just wanted to check out in the back garden my my little summer project, and me and my wife has been planting some stuff. So yeah, just wanted to check, but it looks like no frost yet, so the carrots are good. Now let's get back into the garage and see what we need to do there. Continue on from yesterday. Need to put in the fuel pump, but before I do that I'm going to put in the sun plug, just so I have done that. And I looked at the copper washer that was on, and it's just, I think it's too big, and I can see it leaking. And also, yeah, because I found a similar one which you compress, Same size, also that's very too big. But in the kit there was different sizes and I found this one to be the best. So it looks like if I use this size, you can get even pressure all the way around. So I'm going to use that and we will see if it's going to leak. So I couldn't find torque settings. I'm just going to tighten it up until it stops. So it compresses and then tighten it until it stops. It does good, and I can always come back and retighten, but yeah. So basically just loose dirt, light rust. So getting all the edges down, hoping for a good seal. This has probably not been done since new, so yeah. You see some spots there. Not sure if it's corrosion or... Big moment, fuel pump going back in, really cool. So I need to check the torque settings. I think that's gonna be good. Woohoo! Fuel pump back in. Fully refurbished, rebuilt by myself. Really happy. That's so cool. Putting this back on. Woohoo! Fuel pipes. Something like that. Whoop. First fuel pipe. So not really sure where this should be mounted. Should it be underneath or maybe? So this should probably go underneath here and through and then onto that and onto here. Yeah. Some fuel pipe coming here, going underneath the mounting bracket for the air pipe and the oil filler, and then continuing on to the fuel pump. So that means it's correct. You can see the bracket on the fuel pipe itself connecting to the distributor. Yeah. That's as good as I'm going to get it. I think it's about the same place as it was, so and it's as good as I'm going to get it without the socket and help. So just gonna leave it there. Don't want to hammer anymore. Probably not good for the internals of the engine. Wanted to do that first because we can start on the cooling system, and but before we start on the cooling system, I will go and fill up the engine with oil. So it's 6.5 liters when the filter is new. So I'm just using what I could find of motor oil 2050. Probably would be good with 1050 as well, but it's what I could find in the area. So this is 3.5 liters. Oh, this is big. Let's see. We are just below the min. Just below the min here on the text. All the way down there. And this is 4 liters, so we need 3 more of this. A bit difficult to see, but definitely on the high. You can see here. I'm gonna turn it over, then try and see if we can get something in through the filter, and then maybe it blackens up a bit, it's easier to see. Too much work. Nothing is burning, it's good. So it's definitely not liking the thick oil. But do the oil go through the filter? No, the pump is in. But the pump through the filter and then up to the top. Yep. Oil pressure sensor works, that's good. Cool. Now we can check the levels. Get that to focus. So it's all the way to here. So you have below min, something, and then high here. And then super high up here, I guess. Does it say high? 1 liter from high? And then min? Yeah. water is about 3 degrees, I think. And it's 1 degree outside, so my hands are getting cold. Good to be back in the garage. Yeah, it's a bit cold. We had our first night, as you saw, minus 1, so now it's around 3 degrees, I think, 2 degrees. So playing with water is really cold. Flushed radiator wasn't too bad. You could get some brown water coming out, but not too bad really. So I think now looking into the piping, just clean off the pipes on the water pump. I think that's the next part, and then we can try and fix all the hoses, check that we have all the hoses, and see if we can get this done, get the radiator on, and fill it up with water. So this one isn't too bad, but this on top here is, yeah, flaky, and let's clean that off. Ends are looking pretty good. Did a rough job there, but I think it's good enough. I'm going to clean up here, and then we're going to look at the connection, which is not looking really good. So the thermostat housing needs to be cleaned up. Need to check the thermostat if that works, and yeah, you can see need to clean this up and clean the bolts before we can go any further. Just planning to do everything, clean everything, and then just say, oh, I have done all of this, so you don't have to watch through it all, but I need to show you this. This is so insanely bad, and on the inside as well. So I have learned that restoring is more about cleaning and fixing up. Basically, I've been spending more time cleaning than doing anything else, and this is part of it. So yeah, probably in half an hour just to get this as good as I want it to be. Okay, that's it for today. It's been a good long day, and as always, too much to clean. Still some piping to be done, and but the major things are done in the cooling system. So it's about mounting them, checking the thermostat. Going to do that the first thing tomorrow morning. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this far. I'm gonna continue tomorrow, so stay tuned. Hope you're enjoying it so far. So remember to like and subscribe. And I'm saying this before the end. And also please do check out Patreon. It will help me a lot, because YouTube basically don't pay me anything. So I need a Patreon to keep this project going. So okay, thank you so much. It's been good. Let's go inside dinner. My youngest has made dinner, so it's yeah. I'm a lucky man, as you saw. My wife was here as well, want me to come in, so I'm lucky. Okay, see you tomorrow. Welcome to a new day in the garage, and it's a really exciting day. Coolant system is going back on, and I think everything is ready, because I went out into the garage earlier today just to clean up some bits, and ended up noticing that the surface on the top here for the thermostat housing wasn't clean, so I did that, and that reminded me I needed to test the thermostat, which I also did, which went well. So if you look, you can see it's closed. Do you see it?
Are you talking to me?
Yes,
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to your viewers.
So you can see the inner part here is closed.
Okay.
So when this gets heated up, it opens.
It farts.
You see it opening.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah, it works. That's the important part. So thermostat works. Now let's go into the garage and mount the cooling system. Whoop, whoop. So we have a working thermostat. I also remembered that I was missing one bolt. So before we get into the cooling system, I need to fix this one bolt, and that's on the bracket for the alternator. So I couldn't find a bolt. My brother had a bolt, but I think if he brought it home, then he brought it back to work without really thinking about it. And I went back to him today thinking that maybe he had a bolt. He didn't have one that was long enough. So what I'm going to do is use this, what's it called? Thread pole? And just make a bolt and just put some locking washers on the end here. So yeah, this will have to do until I can make or order a new one. But let's get into that and then get that sorted, then the coolant, then the last fuel pipe, then making a alternative tank, and then startup. I hope. Question is if it's if we can get it to align. So if I can just remove this bracket, the old bracket, like so, I can get access to the other bolt. Just Come on. Yep. The good thing about metric is that I have the tools like these ratchet spanners, which makes everything a bit easier. Like so, I'm just gonna make sure that the space is still on the lower. So if you remember, the bracket was resting on the what's it called? Timing chain cover. So I'm just gonna check the dipstick if there's a, see, let's get some paper. So the input on the dipstick here, oh, sounds like a lot of dirt. Just checking. Okay, so it's, I wasn't sure if it was a gasket or something, but it's a cone, or see, it seals up. So you can see the copper here. So it's compresses, and this screws tightly in. So yeah, hoping to clean up the contact point all the way in there, and then, because it looks to be have been leaking down here. As you can see, I get really quickly sidetracked when I find something that need attention, but bolt in. This should be tightened up enough to the point where it should be tight. We'll see if that leaks or not. Now we can get to what we were going to do today, and that is the coolant system. But I just want to see what happens if we just pour water down here and open the draining plug on the left hand side on the engine here, and then see what comes out. Water coming out of the pump. Okay, open the side valve here. Straight on the starting with the housing. I'm not really sure if you should have some gasket seal there, but we will try it out first. Is there a way? Probably not. Front bolt. So one bolt is longer, so I'm guessing it's the front one. No, I forgot the pipe. So you have to put on the pipe first. Let's get it on. at the same time as we are getting the bolt to align. If this doesn't leak, I will be well happy, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna leak. So I couldn't find a torque spec, so I'm going for 8 Newton. Was that 5.9? And then I can always come back and do it more. If it starts to leak, we can try and just clamp it down. Okay. But it shouldn't be like super hard, heavy pressure in here. Next up, I guess it's the radiator we can put in. Okay. That's gonna be fun. Need some bolts. Heavy. So I haven't labeled everything, but I have put it now. It's about remembering. So not using the original screws, but I have just, it's not going anywhere. But yeah, it's kind of cool seeing it from the front now. Starting to look like a Series 2 again. Really fun. Now hoses. See if we can get that on. Oh. So cool. The front here is such a big part, it's insane. Okay. Change some batteries, get some coffee, then do the pipes and fill up with water. Okay, so back in the garage, a little coffee break, a bit of something to eat, and yeah, it's fun to come out there and see the front on. Makes it look so so much better, and the iconic 2A lights in the center is yeah, it's fun. So before I went in, I just tested the top holster because I can show you. Ooh. This is the original one, and this is the new one, and you can see it's a bit taller and longer. So we need to cut this to size. And yeah, I'm just gonna do that first because I tested the hose, and it was because it was longer, it was crimping the center here, so it was bending it, making the flow, I guess, worse. So looks to be sitting a bit tall, this as well. So I think we're gonna make it a little bit shorter. Not beautiful done, but good, I think, enough. I think that's good. See, good angle. When this is the other side panel, it's going to be a little bit more, and then it's going to be spot on. So I think it's a little bit too long, especially on the lower end here. I think that's good as we get it. So this is the pipe to the heater. Is it the return or is it? Not really sure, and not really sure where to put this. Let's see. So definitely need a new pipe here, I think. So the pipe comes off the thermostat housing, and I think it should be mounted on these two studs, but it's got a bend in it here, so because they have changed it. So let's see, focus. Because the intake and out from the heater is moved from a different place. It should be the two holes back there. Okay, so I definitely need to make something new here, and I don't want to use these pipes because I'm pretty sure it's gonna leak in the rear there. So I'm gonna head out now, see if I can find some piping. Definitely not gonna start it up tonight, but I'm gonna get everything that I need for tomorrow. And hopefully I can get everything ready today or early tomorrow morning, and then we can start it up tomorrow morning. But it's getting late, it's Saturday, so need to finish up another video that's going out tomorrow. So yeah, there's always a bit extra. Fix other stuff as well. The gas pedal I needed to fix, it was loose, and yeah, it's just small things all the time, but we are getting there. I need to fix the coolant hoses for the heater. I maybe should just use maybe I just use a hose from the rear to the front, bypassing the heater, so I can pull apart the heater and flush that, so I can concentrate on the engine, also getting it started. And I need to do the fuel pipe, the last one, and the alternative tank, and also need to clean out the spark plug holes, because there's some, I think there's an ATF oil or something down there. So that, yeah, small little things that I need to get fixed before we can start it up. But we are getting really close, and I just want to, before I start it up or try to start it up, I just want everything to be as good as I can get it, because I don't want a leak to start happening. I don't want fuel to run anywhere. So yeah, but we're getting really close, and it's fun. So yeah, gonna head out, and then I'll see you when I see you. Okay, welcome to. Will this 1968 series Land Rover start after almost 30 years of not running?